Saṁjaya said, then Duryodhana the prince, having seen the army of the Pāṇḍavas drawn up in battle order, approached his teacher and spoke this word. So in response to this Dhritarashtra's question, Kim Akutava, what did I do? Saṁjaya gives his description. We have to understand this role of Saṁjaya. In the Bhagavad Gita, there are 4 people in major roles. The first is Shri Krishna, second is Arjun, the third is Saṁjaya, and the fourth is Dhritarashtra. This is my own commentary, I like to add in the 5th person, which is Hanuman. If you look at Arjun's flag in the chariot, he had the flag of Hanuman. So Arjun was not the only witness of the Gita, there was also Hanuman there. That's my own interpretation, not my original one, but my own one outside the commentary. Okay? So you got Saṁjaya. So this, Dhritarashtra says one verse, and that was an important verse. And Saṁjaya gave his description. The scripture that we have of the Bhagavad Gita takes place in 2 places. The first one is the one that Sri Krishna says to Arjun and Hanuman on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And whatever Sri Krishna says to Arjun is described by Saṁjaya to Dhritarashtra, and this we observe in the Gita. This is the second level of the Bhagavad Gita. It's also then described in words by Maharishi Vyas. While making Lord Ganpati write the Mahabharata, where he said you're not allowed to stop, Ganeshi is actually choice, he didn't stop. This was a third version. And further on, after studying Vyasji's description after ages, through many personalities, scholars, saints and thinkers who have elaborated this description, we're putting this to you in this 4th version. So we're that 4th version of the Gita. So first is Sri Krishna and Arjun, second is Saṁjaya and Dhritarashtra, then you got Maharishi Vyas and Ganeshji and the scripture, and the 4th is the great personalities, and then you and I. Okay, so Saṁjaya is giving us this description here. Saṁjaya is the world's very first running commentator. He gives by a ball-by-ball commentary of Dhritarashtra of what is happening on the battlefield. Dhritarashtra is blind and he wishes to see what's happening on the battlefield. That's why he made a prayer to Maharishi Vyas, and Maharishi Vyas gave Saṁjaya this divine vision, and this was made possible because of faith. When we understand this by pure reason, then we try to understand why Saṁjaya could see and describe what is happening on the battlefield when he's so far away, sitting in the Hastinapur palace. The Kurukshetra battlefield is now very, very small. I've been there in Haryana, but at the time it must have been massive. So how would he have been able to describe that? This is possible because of 2 reasons. First, Saṁjaya's power is something that scientists today describe as the powers of clairvoyance and clairaudience. When someone can see something from far away or hear something from far away. And there are examples of people with these powers all over the world. When you have these shows, believe it or not shows, they give examples of these people. When someone has this strength, it's a gift, maybe as a result of genetic order, and if that's a result, for someone like Dhritarashtra who is blind, that person is an asset, and a very important asset. And that's why Dhritarashtra always kept Saṁjaya with him as his consort and his personal assistant, his secretary, his PA. So secondly, the second reason, this strength can actually be possible in a human being. There's a man in Pune who Guruji knows, and he's actually met a few times. There's been programs about him all over the world, and he's still alive today. Whenever he sits and he closes his eyes, you tell him, ask him, what's happening in this place at this time, or what is happening in your house at this time when he's outside. He'll close his eyes, and he'll describe exactly what's happened in the present tense. He gives the present tense, and exactly what he says, if you test him, it becomes true. There's been tests on him on laboratories all over the world. In one test, they'll put him on a telephone line and ask him to describe what is happening elsewhere and describe exactly what's happening. Even today, in 2011, such a person is living in the world. Then what to say of the past and the future? It is possible that there can be such cases. Therefore, Dhritarashtra kept Saṁjaya by his side. And Saṁjaya gives Dhritarashtra the description, and that's the first possibility. Someone got this blessing from a saint like Maharishi Vyas, but it can also happen by accident as well. Saṁjaya gives us the second verse. At the beginning of this next verse, the 3rd verse I'm going to talk about, Saṁjaya uses the word prince for Duryodhana. This is his way of words because he's a servant of Dhritarashtra, and he has to give a description to Dhritarashtra. That's why it's nature to describe Dhritarashtra's son, Duryodhana, as a prince to Dhritarashtra. Saṁjaya shows a slavish mentality here. He says Prince Duryodhana saw the Pandavas' army gathered in a pattern, and he said this: